حسبي ربي جل الله
حسبي ربي جل الله
ما في قلبي غير الله
ما في قلبي غير الله
ونور محمد صلى الله
نور محمد صلى الله
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. Hey!
And in that solitude, if you don't find a connection with Allah, then all these fake connections that you have, and I have, that are not really based in the relationship with Allah, they will all disappear. They will not last. The facade will dissipate eventually. If not in this life, then in the next. I know that he is not able to project his voice that much, but if you feel you can, I'd like you to say a few words to the students. You think it'd be okay? Yeah? Okay, let's turn them around, inshallah.
Lower it down, son. I'm leaning back a little far. All right. Where would you like me to start?
No. Just whatever you'd like to say to the students.
I don't know what to say. Thank you all for coming here and praying, and thank you, Ustaz, for coming here and giving khutbah. And I'm really blessed to have all of you here, and it's an honor. It really is to be here with other Muslims and to be able to pray Jummah prayer, and because really I'm the only Muslim here, so now, and it's just everything's always about me, about myself, and to have everybody here with me now it's really a blessing and an honor, and very, very happy to be here. It's good to see all of your faces. And
Are you too nervous to recite something?
I'm not too nervous to recite something.
All right.
You'd like me to recite? What would you like me to recite?
Your favorite ayah?
My favorite? Let me think. Okay. I don't know. All right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
It's a reminder for all of us that, there are no excuses. Robert can learn Quran from where he is, no Muslims around him, just dedication. And
That's
then Allah
true.
opens the door,
Yeah, I like to say, if you have problems, just, I've never studied Arabic or anything like that in my life. I understand that there are some people, Muslims, who grew up maybe in a Muslim home, they don't even know Arabic. I mean, it's not hard to learn Quran. Get on there and just try, and don't give up. It's not hard. I mean, it starts off, you think, oh, this is the hardest thing in the world for me to do. I can't do this, but no, it's not. Just sit there and listen, go along with the recitation, and then, eventually, what I did was I went and I learned the Arabic alphabet, and now, I can find out how to pronounce the words correctly. So when I'm reciting, most of the time I say it correctly. I know my accent's not very good, but I say it anyways. And it took me a while to learn the last 10 surahs of the Quran, and still I couldn't recite them to you in order unless you're giving them to me by name, and I could go through all 10 of them. And there's a few others that I started to learn actually in the beginning of Ramadan. I watched the khutbah or speech from Ustad Numan Ali Khan, and he was saying, learn learn Surat al-Jumu'ah, and then go from there. And well, I started, it was pretty difficult, and I got through to I got the first 2 ayahs done, and inshallah I'll be able to get the rest of them. I just need practice, inshallah, yeah.
It's awesome.
When was it that you took Shahada? I took Shahada in, it was September of 2011. When I woke up from the dream that I had, I lay there and I thought to myself that, you know, I had to gather everything together, and I said, you know, that was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then I had already learned Shahada and everything, so right there in my bed, I just, without even thinking, I was just, you know, I said, you know, I was like, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. And then from there.
Can you tell us some of your story? I mean, we've heard stats of it, but I mean, you know, if you
Just tell them the dream.
Oh, you want to know about my dream?
Yes.
All right. Well, actually, like in the dream, what it was I was kind of standing there. It was odd because most of my dreams, I have now since I'm paralyzed. In my dreams, my legs hurt. They feel like tree trunks, and I can't move, and I'm in pain because I guess I'm dreaming because I'm in pain. But this time I was just standing there, and then a little around the way from me, I'd say about 20 feet or so away to my left, you know, I was in a desertous area. There were like sand dunes a little, and to my left there was a group of men gathered around a person who was standing up talking to them, and it was by firelight because it was almost nighttime. Wasn't quite dark, but it was dark enough for a fire, and they had it going, and you could tell these men were listening to him intently, you know. So I was like, okay, well, this man's very important. And then also to my right was the crucifix setting up that I had in my room, but it was like life size, and I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, what's going on, you know? And then suddenly the man, he was standing there and he was giving hand gestures. You could tell he was talking and saying something very important. And when he had turned to me and he looked at me and he says, look, he pointed to the crucifix and he said, look, this was a man, a prophet, you know. He would eat food, drink water, go to the bathroom just like every other man. He's not a god, you know, only a prophet, you know. Just, you know, follow God, not men. And then I woke up, and then it wasn't so long after I woke up and gathered myself. Because I mean, right when he turned to me and talked to me and told me that, I knew right then and there it was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then, I mean, I woke up, and then, like I said, I had to gather myself to figure like what just happened, and that was real. Because at this time, I had been studying about Islam and everything, and I even learned the Shahada and other things, but I hadn't taken it yet. But then that time, I woke up and I just, right there by myself, I did it, you know. Yeah, I did. And since then, I'd say for the first year and 3 or 4 months, I was just trying to study on memorizing Quran and you know, reading, and that was it. And never did I even think about understanding it, because you know, as a non-Muslim reading it, there's a lot of stuff in there that you don't understand. And then I was searching for how to understand. Then I found Ustad Numan Ali Khan's tafsir videos, and they appealed to me very good. I mean, he speaks in an American accent, and he speaks. You know, it's not only that, it's just he speaks to a younger audience, you know. And, you know, it just appealed to me. And then I noticed that as I was studying, you know, surahs, and then I would study it, and at the same time, I would watch his tafsir videos and understand the ayahs I was talking about and what was going on at that time when it was revealed, you know, and what was happening, you know, to put the ayah with the historicity where it's going on, you know, like where when it was revealed, whether it was Mecca Surah or Madani revealed, and then it helped me just understand everything so much. And then it made my iman even stronger, you know. And then I knew even more how certain I was, you know. And people, I even, like, someone had asked me on Twitter, like, or my cousin just said, you know, well, why do you believe in Muslim and all this? And he wanted a big explanation from me. And, you know, I told him, I was like, because, you know, I believe in the prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I believe that his revelations were from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And, you know, and that's what I believe in my heart, and that's what I'm gonna follow. You know, and even if I didn't want to, you know, I couldn't disbelieve. And I just try to remain steadfast in the salah. And of course everyone's mind goes up and down, but it's always there, you know. And I just have to just always have dhikr of Allah, you know, just always have, you know, every day as always, astaghfirullah, alhamdulillah, you know, and I just stay. And being in this condition that I'm in, it's not easy to stay satisfied and happy. I can't do anything for myself, and sometimes if I ask somebody to do something, it'll take them quite a long time. And I was never a very patient person, but, you know, after I became Muslim and I studied more and read, I realized, you know, I have sabr now, and I can wait, and I can calm myself down, and just remember when they take it too long, I just astaghfirullah, 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 and eventually they come.
How's the family dealing with your Islam in the last couple of years?
No, my mother, she supports me in my decision. At first, well, I can tell you this, people. I converted for a month, and I was talking to my mom, and I didn't say anything, and I said, well, what would you say if I told you I was thinking about converting to Islam? And she's like, well, I wouldn't like it. I'm like, well, what would you say if I told you I had already converted? And the first thing she said was, so you want to go blow up people? And I was like, oh, no, you have the wrong idea. And then eventually over time, as I talked to her, and I even gave her Quran to read, and she read some, you know, and she understands me now, and she supports me. And my father had a different reaction, and, you know, from his experience, he had thought that, he told me, well, son, only black people are Muslims. And I was, and I was just,
That's even a terrorist.
and I was just like, Dad, there's over, 1.5 billion Muslims in the world. They're of all races and colors and everything. And then the next time I talked to him, especially after the video came out, and I got a lot more Muslim friends on Facebook and stuff, my dad finally sat and talked to me, and he's like, it's okay, but you want to, if you want to find your way to God that way, then that's your decision. You know, my sister, she doesn't approve of it very much. She likes to she keeps her distance. I try to talk to her about Islam, and I gave her Quran, but she won't read. And then I gave my son Quran, and I talked to him he reads some, but he tells me I don't believe in organized religion and all this stuff. He's 16 years old, and he's real. I don't know. And he's one of the kids now these days who they're about video games and friends and being bored. You know, that's all they do. So I'm just like,
I'll give you some answers, some ideas how to help them that job.
I would appreciate that. And so, but he's respectful to me, and he's still gonna read the rest. I'll talk to him, and I'll keep talking to him about Islam and everything. And then I have a Christian cousin who he's real supportful of me. And I told him about it, and he didn't say anything bad. And he doesn't try to, well, he pray. He tells me he prays for me all the time. And he'll even in my room, he'll ask me, can I say a prayer? And I allow him to. I don't want to disrespect him and be like, no. And so the family's okay, actually. They're really good. And actually, I had talked to my brother a lot about Islam and everything, and he liked it and everything. And I got him to take Shahada, actually. And actually, he's the one. If you look at my Facebook page, he's the one with the thobe on, and the white thobe. He's the one. He kind of looks like me a little. He's a little more chunky though. And he's 4 years younger than I am, but I look younger, of course. Not. But right. But I got him to take Shahada, but he doesn't practice. But I'm still going to talk to him more, and I believe I can get him to do so. With the faith.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I know you need your rest too. Yeah.
Oh, of course, yes.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, please.
Can you describe the Prophet ﷺ for us?
Like describe.
Can you describe how he was in the dream?
Well, like I say, it was in the distance, and what I could see was, well, he was. I would say he was about 5'11" ish, maybe that tall, because he was taller than the people he was speaking with. Because some of them were sitting down and some were standing up, and he was definitely. He had a head wrapping like it was wrapped from like around his head and then down and then like across like to one side, like like over his shoulder, like up kind of high. I can't really, my descriptive powers, I'm not very articulate, my descriptive powers are very lacking, so I couldn't tell you exactly. But when he had turned to me to talk, like the shadows from the flame, the fire, because when there's firelight, it puts off shadows in every direction. So when he had turned to me to talk, I couldn't really see his face. I could see the white of his teeth, and when he talked to me, it was in a very calm voice. Like, he didn't yell at me like, this man is only a prophet, he's not a god. He just moved his hand towards the crucifix and said it in a very calm voice. It's just like, in a convincing voice also. And it was just like, and I mean, right when he turned around, I knew exactly who it was, because I know people, everybody dreams, and when you dream, you know that a person's there. They don't have to announce themselves, but you just know exactly who they are. And that's when he turned, and I was like, whoa. And yeah.
Only very special people get to see the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You know that, right? And Shaitan cannot take the appearance of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Anybody else but the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
That's cool.
So Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala showed you something special. It's for you.
I took it to heart, and like I said, I woke up, took Shahada, and then I started to learn, and I've been trying to keep my mind straight, stay steadfast, and be on the straight path, and being in a place like this, and being in the condition I'm in, trust me, it's very difficult, but I do it. I stay happy. I'm not depressed. I get angry like any human would, but I don't get depressed. I'm happy. I mean, anyone who meets me could tell me that, you're a happy person. And I'll be honest, before I converted, I was a mean person. I mean, I was content, but I wasn't necessarily happy. I was angry towards other people. I treated people bad and everything. But then afterwards, my treatment of people, I watch what I say. I watch my tongue, and I think about what I'm going to say to somebody before I say it. And I remember, because I want to speak. Yeah, because I want to speak to people softly and with good words. Sometimes they're not as good as I'd like them to be.
Thank you so very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Allahu, Allahu, Allah. Allahu, Allahu, Allah. Allahu, Allahu, Allah. Allahu, Allahu, Allah. Allah.